And the topic of this nanocast is how the 5G core solves the security vulnerabilities in mobile communication. I'd like to introduce Iftikhar Waheed, our Senior Director of Product Management at Enea in the Telecoms Group, to talk to us today a little bit about this topic.
Thank you, Fergus. Security is always a very interesting topic and also very core to communication networks. And before I get into 5G, the thing I would like to point out is traditionally the existing access networks, so take into account 2G, 3G, 4G, they've always been closed networks. So they were designed with specifically to work within a walled garden, so to say, and therefore the underlying security infrastructure was also more of a UE authentication and a user authentication and securing that communication, and then encryption for the communication of control and user plane data. The significant shift in 5G is that it brings new innovation, and especially innovation focused in opening up the operator's network so that it can leverage connectivity and exposure towards enterprise networks, i.e., principally the 5G network is built for greater industrialization. And that effectively raises the question of security. So security has always been an age-old problem, has always been around in communication, but we see in internet, and now those problems become more relevant even in the mobile communication domain. So 5G, the 3GPP specification has taken extra care on how to address this question. And what they have done, and a significant innovation in the area of security, is that that we now look at securing each segment of the communication chain or the communication flow within 5G. So you have the communication between SDM and the AMF is secured with one set of security credentials, but then AMF to UE is secured with another set of credentials, and at each point additional security protocols and mechanisms are instituted. And this is just to ensure that you don't have a breakdown at any single point does not corrupt or pollute the entire communication for the user. Another significant addition in 5G is the concealment of identity. So one of the weakest points in existing access is the ability to identify mobiles over-the-air interface. And this has been exploited as recently as in present conflict conditions around the world. Concealment allows the operator and the user to rest in to have greater peace of mind while their credentials, while being exchanged during connection setup and everything, are encrypted. Now, this, when added to the set of future use cases, such as communication with high-speed vehicles in V2V scenarios, or communication with sensitive infrastructure, or more autonomous communication, which are use cases enabled by 5G, here the risk of having a breach, a security breach, or poses a much greater risk. And therefore, these mechanisms are really important that 5G introduces. And of course, their adoption would be coming as operators successfully deploy 5G and become a 5G only provider. But it's something that has to happen towards the end, and only then can you have an underlying communication network that can securely support all the enterprise use cases that we have in mind for 5G and for the future. So security is a subject that one can go on and on, but this is something I believe is very important to the future of cellular communication, and 5G is the first step on this in this area. And if you want to know more, please come visit www.enea.com, where we are always where we share more thoughts on the matter. Thank you.